Hello and welcome to the London Borough of Barnet. My name is Martin and this is the Zen Gateway. And this is the first of a number of proposed video shorts, which I hope to do. It's going to be about a number of different topics. I notice these days lots of people seem to do video shorts on YouTube. Actually, this is going to be on Vimeo because that's a little bit posher. But suffice to say, the purpose of these video shorts is really to talk about the Dharma, talk about Zen practice and Zen training, etc., sayings of the patriarchs, really anything that people would like to ask about. Principally, this is to supplement the work that we're doing with the Dharma Centre on the Zen Gateway. We currently have a nice little group going with regular weekly live stream Zazen meditation and also monthly tutorials where questions can be aired and feedback can be given as well. But this is really just an opportunity to perhaps talk a little bit more about things as we go through the year, such as the memorial days for the Zen patriarchs or for the important episodes in the life of the Buddha. And if anybody wants to ask a question, you're very welcome to do so. If you're a member of the Dharma Centre, then of course you can ask that through the dedicated Telegram page. And if you're not a member of the Dharma Centre, then you can always email me at thezengateway@gmail.com. That's thezengateway@gmail.com. And I'll be happy to do what I can to provide some kind of answer to your queries. For this first one, I thought, as we are in February, still in the month of February, and we've recently had the commemoration of the Buddha's Parinirvana, which is the Parinirvana is the death of the Buddha at age 80. And iconographically, these are shown as the reclining Buddha. So no doubt people are used to the seated Buddha in meditation, possibly also standing Buddhas, but I'm sure you will have seen some of reclining Buddhas as well. These are actually pictorializing the death of the Buddha at age 80 in the Sala Grove. And I thought this would be a useful one to start with, principally because death is about change, and even the Buddha said his last words as he lay dying was, "Impermanent are all compounded things, strive on heedfully." And that impermanent are all compounded things is really just a formulation of something that's pivotal and foundational in Buddhist teachings, and that is anicca, or change, that everything really and truly is subject to change. Even the Buddhas, and even Buddhism is subject to change as well. And so the Buddha's teaching was about letting go, teaching people how to let go, because the danger is that if we grasp at something and stake our life on it, stake everything on it, sooner or later that thing is going to undergo change, and so we will suffer grief and loss as a result of that. Now, this can be misunderstood. This can be, a little bit an excuse to think, oh, well, maybe the important thing is to sort of rise above everything, not be involved with anything, sort of try and look beyond the world and its people and its problems. But actually, this is the opposite end of grasping. It's just another form of grasping. It's escapism, and escapism is also grasping as well. So what the Buddha taught, therefore, was the middle way between grasping at things and then grieving their loss, or trying to stand aloof to things and not be involved, was instead to learn to let go. But before we can let go, we have to dive in head first. And so that means actually being 100% involved with what at this moment is being done, whatever it is that is being done. But when the time comes for it to go, then we learn to let go. And this is why our daily life practice has as its basis to give myself wholeheartedly into what at this moment is being done. And this is a little bit different to becoming overabsorbed in something, because we may sort of say, well, give me a good book and I'm more than happy to dive in and give myself wholeheartedly to it. And then I'm just getting to a really sort of exciting part of the story. Someone comes in and says, hey, Martin, it's your turn to do the washing up. And, I go, oh, no, not right now. Or I ignore them, maybe. Well, I could say I'm giving myself into reading this book, but actually what I'm doing is I'm resisting the changing circumstances that now require me to get out of that comfortable armchair, put the book down, and go and fulfill my duty to do the washing up, because circumstances are all subject to change as well. And it may sound like quite a small example, but it has all the ingredients that are really necessary when it comes to developing that skill to learn to let go. Because when it becomes to something that's really important, such as, growing old, falling sick, my own death, then the principle still applies. And we may sort of think, well, it feels a bit nihilistic, just to say, oh, well, it's death, isn't this a little bit sort of stoical, okay, but also a little bit cynical as well? But again, the answer is no. And just to sort of counter that, I remember my own late teacher, Master Dayu, shortly before she died, she said to me, forms come and go, but life goes on. And what she meant by that was life with a capital L. And that actually that life, that movement, that animating principle, that life that enlivens and brings to life all forms, all living forms, all forms, in the sea of creation coming to be and ceasing to be, that is what we truly are. That these forms that the heart grasps at and calls I or me or mine, that these are only temporary shelters. So life cannot be separated from forms. It's not something that lives outside of forms. Life always expresses itself through forms, but those forms come to be and cease to be. Those forms are constantly subject to change. And this is why the Buddha said, impermanent are all compounded things, just reminding us of that. But strive on, heedfully, meaning carefully, meaning also fully living wholeheartedly. Okay, see you next time.